prescription medication is not a luxury item, it's a necessity, and many people aren't covered any other way.
While a national pharmacare plan to cover the cost of contraceptives and diabetes medication is being welcomed, some advocates in Manitoba are hoping the plan is comprehensive and comes soon. City News learned last week that the federal Liberals and NDP have reached a deal that would see any Canadian with a health card receive free diabetes and birth control medication. Kemlyn Nemhard at the Women's Health Clinic says while she's happy to see the federal government move to cover the cost of contraceptives, she is hoping that access to them is truly universal.
We also need to make sure that they're available through clinics as well, right? So, because not everybody, having to get a prescription and then get that prescription filled, that isn't necessarily accessible to everybody.
The current Manitoba NDP government previously pledged to cover the cost of prescription contraceptives. In a statement to City News on whether it plans to move forward with the pledge, given the news the federal government is looking to do something similar, the province said, quote, "Our government campaigned on free birth control for every Manitoban, and we remain committed to making it happen. Once federal legislation is introduced and passes, we'll review it to understand how it impacts Manitoba families."
We hope Manitoba keeps expanding services so they don't just let the federal money backfill the Manitoba money.
While pharmacists are welcoming the news that more people who may not have drug coverage soon would be able to get some form of it, there are still concerns on the rollout of the program.
The reality is there's finite public dollars for these drug plans, and there may be opportunities to cover a wider number of drugs for a targeted number of people rather than moving people who already have coverage from private plans to public.
Equity of access, so that the coverage is benefiting the people who need it most. Timeliness of access, so operationally, what is this going to look like for people to receive medications, and what will be the impacts of manufacturers releasing new drugs into the Canadian market?
As the federal government moves on covering the cost of contraceptives and diabetes medication universally, calls still remain for the feds to expand the program to cover all pharmaceutical drugs.
We do need the rest of the plan to come very soon.
In Winnipeg, Djan, City News.